Hey everyone. Evoking Solomonis came out about 9 hours ago as of recording. I've done 2 runs with each of the evokers, and I think I've seen a lot of people have a lot of difficulty with this. So here's just a basic TLDR of what I think you should be doing to get success. First off, this is a roguelike. You are going to lose some runs just due to sheer chance because the game gives you bad stuff. It's just going to happen. But if you want to have the most success, you need to prepare for the most possible things that can happen. So here's my suggestions. First off, I think you should get the Hangman first from the Blessings here. That's the first one you should buy because it lets you bring an extra character. As for the character you bring, I highly recommend you bring someone who can help a lot with the early game. So a character that doesn't really need a lot of grid input to do a decent amount of damage. In my case, I am taking Octavia because she lets you take 2 turns, the unchallenged on the battle start from the third skill. Since it has a 0-turn cooldown and she always gets her stacks at the battle start, you can press this at the start of every battle, and it lets you attack for 2 turns for free instead of just 1 turn. And MC, I'm taking Wizard Origin because it lets you get a crest without doing anything, which triggers Ouroboros, and that's skill damage. It's very easy to ramp up with a very limited selection on your grid. On my grid, you can see that I am taking 2 Knight of Ice. Any weapon that boosts anything that you are doing early game is good here. It doesn't have to be this, but you just want something that is very, very strong early. Like even like 2 raw damage weapons would be fine. My idea is you want to start off with picking the weapons that will help you get through those really, really simple fights at the start. Then you want to have some weapons that you are going to unlock as you pivot to the mid game, as the enemies start getting harder and you need to start getting more juice in the grid, you start taking these. And then for the rest of the grid, you take weapons that you take because they'll give you a lot of cap up, a lot of cap break, and they'll make you overpowered so you can kill the final boss, which is very hard. Also, this is not Arcarum. Any weapons that trigger only on Arcarum will not trigger here. So, say Bow of Sigurd Milites, that doesn't trigger here. The additional effects of the New World Foundation and the World Weapons won't trigger here, etc. As for summons, I highly recommend you bring Kirin. It's just a get out of jail free card for the final fight. There is an upgrade you can get that lets you call it every fight, but otherwise you can only call it once. If you get the upgrade that lets you call it every fight, it's really, really strong because you get every cooldown every fight, but normally you have to manage them. Auto Jaya, you get skill 1 every fight, not required, but if you have it, take it. If you don't have it, that's fine, just put something else in here. There is a buff you can get that makes it so your summons have a 1-turn cooldown. So any summon you would really like to call every turn, you can dedicate a slot to it. And I also highly recommend you take something that lets you ignore omens, because there are several V2 fights during the run, especially the final boss, which have complicated omens. And since it's very RNG heavy, you might not have specifically a build that can handle them. So any way to ignore that stuff and push through is really highly recommended. Again, these also start locks at the start of the fight. Okay, I'm gonna start the run here. And I want to do water. I'm actually going to stop the recording here because I get a bad run, and if it's a good run, I will keep recording.